The South Sudan conflict began in 1983 when the Sudanese government decided to take out the autonomy agreements they had with the southern states of Sudan. But it wasn't until 20 years later that South Sudan became a totally independent country, sadly costing about 1.4 million lives and about 4 million displaced people. But it wasn't until 2013 that civil war broke out in South Sudan because their president Salva Kiir falsely accused the vice president Riek Machar of planning a failed coup, which also turned out in 2.2 million people displaced and many lives put at risk. In 2012, there were disagreements between Sudan and South Sudan because of oil, and it erupted into the heckling crisis. That didn't stop until a peace agreement was signed between the two countries. That also resulted into a demilitarized 10-kilometer border between Sudan and South Sudan, and it also helped to South Sudan to continue exporting oil. The next year, 2014, was a bad year as well. Even though the UN intervened, it only caused more deaths and slaughters and even the world's greatest food crisis in South Sudan. In 2015, despite these UN threats, the President Salva Kiir made a peace deal with the rebels and their leader, Riek Machar, allowing him to return as the vice president again with a new unity government.
National conflict, when a part of a nation turns against another part of the same nation. For example, the Lake Chad Basin, because at the beginning it was just a little group of people against some parts of the same nation, but now it's like half of country that it's against some part of the same nation. Ethnic conflicts, a disagreement between two or more ethnic groups, while the source of the conflict may be political, social, or economical. For example, Libya. A lot of ethnic groups in Libya are fighting for the oil. Governmental conflict. Disagreement between two or more countries that have different positions of a political theme. For example, Syria and Iraq. They have different political theme, so they are fighting each other for political theme. Economic conflict. Disagreement between countries because of money. Like the example, like the Venezuela problem, that it's in crisis, and that makes like a little civil war in Venezuela for economic things. Territorial conflict. Disagreement between two or more countries that are not agree over the control of land. For example, the South China Sea, because the US is against territorial construction of some reefs. Religious conflict. Disagreement between two or more countries that doesn't have the same religion idea. For example, in Egypt, the Christians are against the other religion.
Realism considers the principal actors of this international situation to be the states that are worried about their own security, act for their own national interests, and struggle for power. Realism, that is also known as political realism, is a critical point of view for international politics. It talks about its comparative side and its conflict side. It can be contrasted with the liberalism or idealism. With the realism focused on the power and national self-interest, they forgot about the ethical norms and the relation among states. Now we're going to talk about idealism, that refers to international politics and the advance of certain ideals or moral goals. The classical realism emphasized the concept of national interest and do not reject the possibility of moral judgment in international politics. For example, making the world a place more peaceful. First, the world political arrangements are inadequate. In international politics, they refer to idealism as a term of disapprobation because it goes beyond of what can be safely achieved. It is based on a false estimation of what is possible. Let the hearts rule their heads, make the idealists underestimate the achievements.